Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Today, we're journeying back in time, far beyond the pharaohs of Egypt or the emperors of Rome, to a world of colossal stone monuments and the mysterious people who built them. A quiet revolution is happening in archaeology, and it's completely rewriting the first chapter of human civilization. Newly found and re-examined megalithic structures are revealing a prehistoric world far more complex and sophisticated than we ever dared to imagine. So forget the old image of primitive nomads. The emerging picture is of settled communities with rich spiritual lives, advanced engineering skills, and a profound connection to the cosmos. Our story begins in the sun-scorched landscapes of southeastern Turkey, at a site that has turned prehistory on its head, Göbekli Tepe. For decades, the rule was simple. First came farming, then came villages, and only then came complex society and monumental architecture. Göbekli Tepe, dating back to around 9500 BCE, smashes that rule to pieces. This was a time thousands of years before the pyramids, even before pottery was invented. And yet, here stands a sprawling complex of massive T-shaped pillars arranged in circles. Some of these limestone giants weigh up to 50 tons. Imagine the effort. And they aren't just crude blocks. They're covered in intricate carvings of animals like snakes, vultures, and boars, alongside abstract symbols. This showcases a level of artistry previously thought impossible for people we assumed were simple hunter-gatherers. Initially, archaeologists thought Göbekli Tepe was a kind of regional temple, a ceremonial center for nomadic tribes who would gather here for rituals. But recent discoveries have changed everything. Excavations have unearthed evidence of permanent or semi-permanent settlements right next to the monumental circles. They've found domestic buildings, huge quantities of tools for processing wild cereals, and even a sophisticated water supply system carved into the bedrock. The people who built Göbekli Tepe weren't just passing through. They were creating a home, a center for their community that was both sacred and secular. The revelations don't stop there. Just a short distance away lies another site, Karahan Tepe, which might be several centuries older than Göbekli Tepe. Here, archaeologists have found more T-shaped pillars, but also a stunning array of sculptures. One of the most incredible finds is a 2.3-meter-tall statue of a naked male figure holding his phallus. It's one of the earliest and most impressive examples of realistic human sculpture ever found. Even more recently, a pillar carved with a detailed human face was unearthed. This discovery is a game-changer because it strengthens the theory that the T-shaped pillars themselves are meant to be stylized human forms. Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe aren't isolated wonders. They're part of a larger network of at least 12 sites, dubbed the Stone Mounds, spanning over 200 kilometers. This suggests a vast, shared cultural and symbolic world. The sheer scale of these projects implies a society with a high degree of social organization, capable of mobilizing huge numbers of people for a common goal. These were hunter-gatherers with the minds of engineers and the souls of artists. While Turkey is pushing back the timeline of monumentality, new research in Europe is giving us a much clearer picture of the societies that built the continent's own famous megaliths. Thanks to the field of ancient DNA analysis, the iconic stone circles, dolmens, and passage tombs are finally giving up some of their secrets. Studies of human remains found in megalithic tombs across Ireland, Sweden, and Scotland have revealed something fascinating. These structures often served as burial places for closely related individuals over many generations. The genetic data points towards patrilineal kinship systems, where descent was traced through the male line, so these weren't public cemeteries. They were monuments to specific lineages, perhaps powerful families or clans, who used these massive stone tombs to assert their identity and their claim over the land. It was a way of saying, "This is our history, this is our territory." And the discoveries keep coming. In Spain, archaeologists recently unearthed a remarkably well-preserved 5,000-year-old dolmen, a type of single-chamber megalithic tomb. It was packed with human remains and a treasure trove of grave goods, including exotic materials like ivory and amber. This tells us these societies had extensive trade networks reaching far and wide. The engineering prowess of these megalithic builders is also coming into sharper focus, and it's simply breathtaking. A recent study of the 700-year-old Menga dolmen, also in Spain, reveals the incredible sophistication required to build it. We're talking about moving and erecting stones that weigh over 150 tons. How did they do it? This wasn't just brute force. The study showed they used carefully constructed roads with specific gradients, powerful ropes, and wooden scaffolds. They even designed the structure with incredible foresight, creating specific light patterns inside and building in features to prevent erosion. This level of planning and coordination is a testament to the advanced technical skills of Neolithic societies. But what if these monuments weren't just meant to be seen? What if they were designed to be heard? A fascinating field called archaeoacoustics is exploring the sound properties of these ancient sites. Studies at places like Stonehenge and the Passage Tombs of Scotland have shown that these structures were acoustic marvels. The stones can amplify and direct sound, create strange echoes, and even resonate at specific low frequencies. These frequencies are known to have a psychoactive effect on the human brain, potentially inducing altered states of consciousness. This suggests that megalithic rituals were not silent, solemn affairs. They were multisensory experiences, with chanting, drumming, and the very stones themselves playing a role in creating a sacred and transformative atmosphere. As all this new evidence pours in, the traditional view of megaliths as purely ceremonial or religious sites is being challenged. While their spiritual dimension is undeniable, it's clear they served many purposes. The discovery of domestic houses, right alongside the monumental enclosures at Göbekli Tepe, is a perfect example of this blurring between the sacred and the everyday. And this pattern is being found elsewhere. In Saudi Arabia, for instance, archaeologists have found hundreds of 7,000-year-old stone circles that they now believe were not for rituals, but were the foundations of houses. Many megalithic sites were also clearly oriented towards celestial events, like the solstices and equinoxes. This shows a sophisticated understanding of astronomy and a deep connection to the cycles of the sun and moon. These astronomical calendars were likely crucial for agricultural communities, helping them track the seasons for planting and harvesting. We should also remember that the very act of building a megalith was a powerful social event. Mobilizing the labor and resources for these massive undertakings would have strengthened community bonds and reinforced social hierarchies. Building together was a way of expressing shared beliefs and forging a collective identity. And once built, these monuments served as powerful territorial markers, proclaiming a community's presence and permanence on the landscape. So, what did it all mean to them? The art found on these structures offers tantalizing glimpses into the minds of our prehistoric ancestors. Across Europe, we find abstract motifs, spirals, zigzags, concentric circles carved into the stones of tombs and monuments. The fact that similar symbols appear across vast geographical distances suggests a degree of cultural connection, a shared symbolic language we are only just beginning to decipher. Some researchers even propose that the abstract symbols found in Irish passage tombs were inspired by visions experienced in altered states of consciousness, perhaps induced by the acoustic properties of the tombs themselves. The more figurative art, like that found in Anatolia, is even more revealing. The detailed carvings of animals, snakes, vultures, foxes, boars, likely represent powerful forces of nature or key figures from a rich mythology. The discovery of realistic and stylized human figures suggests a complex understanding of the human form and its place in the cosmos. And finally, the funerary context of so many megaliths gives us clues about their beliefs. The careful placement of the dead, often accompanied by valuable or personal grave goods, points clearly to a belief in an afterlife. The communal nature of many of these tombs suggests that death wasn't just a personal tragedy, but a social transition, an event that was managed and marked by the entire community. So the stone giants of the ancient world are no longer silent witnesses to a forgotten age. They are actively speaking to us, telling the stories of the sophisticated, creative, and resilient societies that created them. They tell of a time when hunter-gatherers built temples, when farmers charted the stars, and when communities came together to create monuments that would stand for millennia. The mysteries of the megaliths are far from solved. Each new discovery seems to raise as many questions as it answers. But as we continue to listen to the stories told by these ancient stones, we gain a new appreciation for the ingenuity and enduring spirit of our distant ancestors. They are a profound reminder that the roots of human civilization run far deeper and are far more complex than we ever imagined. Thanks for joining us on Fun Facts Online.